Okay, so we tied up the points. Sai scored 492. That's for killing the Carrion, the Horse Archers, a Catapult, and the Necropolis Knights. And I scored
1524,
which is pretty respectable. But I guess there was a lot of points in that night.
620 points in that Knightly Army,
yeah.
Plus 110 for the BSB, and like 65 for the Warrior Priest. So
yeah,
you're looking at like nearly a third of the army.
Yeah, and then the 4 War Machines as well.
Yeah,
which is like
and the Steam Tank.
So oh yeah, the Steam Tank. Yeah, really, you should get the points for that. Still, it blowing up probably killed as many points as it was worth.
It didn't do too bad, I suppose. Yeah.
Well, so that's the end of the game. It was a really good one, a real nail biter, especially that Reiksguard right at the end. It's quite scary having 3 huge blocks of cavalry charging at you at full pelt. He was a bit unlucky with that charge that he failed, but then I was pretty unlucky when I counter-charged and did nothing too. I think he passed all his saving throws. But yeah, I mean, I think Tomb Guard are obviously a really good answer to Knights, but that's about the only thing in my army that is, because the Catapults don't do a lot against them. Chariots certainly don't. But yeah, I saw them off, so I'm pretty happy. I think the real man of the match for me, I don't know actually. Probably, I don't know, that Tomb Prince in that unit killed a fair few guys. The Sepulchral Stalkers actually, because they rocked up, they killed 2 pieces of artillery and survived the game. So they rolled a fair amount of 6s. So I'm loving those guys, and they look awesome as well. So looking forward to painting those. Yeah, everything sort of did its fair share really. So I can't really say there's the least useful. Oh, I suppose the casket, as always, is the all-star. It's the extra power dice and the Blight of Death, just amazing every time. I'd say that's probably the must take for Tomb Kings, like every time, just awesome. Especially coupled with this guy. You know, we're talking about strong magic phases. It really makes a difference. So I think they rely on it, but yeah, I love it. So it's really nice to have magic phases. Yeah, so I really did enjoy that game actually. It's probably one of the closest games I've had in a while. I know Sai didn't seem like Sai had many points, but he managed to kill all this. It was just a case of not actually finishing off the units, which is obviously quite tricky against Tomb Kings because they don't run away. So unless you kill them to the man, you don't get the points for them. So that's a bit harsh, really, because he would have scored a lot more points otherwise. But yeah, so it was a really good game. I really enjoyed it. Although I've played that game with the Ogres, Tomb Kings is still my favourite, I'm afraid. So I love playing them. So really enjoyed that. See what Sai has to say about the game.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that game as well. That was probably one of my favourite games I've played in a long time. I really like the speed at which they can get in, and I think that's key when dealing with Tomb Kings. Like Ollie says, I missed the charge against the Tomb Guard, which was unfortunate. Because if I'd managed to get in and really smash them to pieces, I think then I could have probably got done and sort of done quite a lot of hefty damage. I also wondered whether the chariots that started over here in the corner, I think I might have done better going after them, but I suffer the same problem that, unfortunately, with the way Ollie's magic phase can work, he would have easily been able to reform the Tomb Guard round for an assault, and had those gone in the flank, then it would have been totally different. Handling those guys in the flank isn't so bad, but yeah, Tomb Guard in the flank would be pretty evil. But yeah, it was a good game. I was a bit disappointed I didn't finish that last Sepulchral Stalker. I like to think it got a little bit lucky in its second set of attacks, rolling like maximum number of attacks with Gaze, which is a bit unfortunate. I mean, had he left me with 2 wounds, then I think I probably would have blasted him to pieces, but not too disappointed. The handgunners I feel did really well. They just perched in and they just sort of chipped off anything that came close. They did a fair few wounds, patted here and there. Towards the end of the game, they didn't perform that well, but they were a continuous thing, and it kind of when the units were reduced down this far for the stalkers and the chariots, it kind of put Ollie off moving towards them, which was rather good.
I think that whole quarter of the board, I didn't even dare go near.
It's quite nice.
Even from turn one, they pretty much shot off those. I know it's the Hellblast, wasn't it? But
yeah.
I didn't dare move out of my deployment zone because there was so much kind of artillery in that sitting 24 inches away.
Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed with how the cannons went. I would have I had 2 cannons and sort of failed epically miserably with, but
yeah, he's not kidding. That's not even luck. I don't even know what that was, but I've never seen anything like it. Incredible. I don't even know how you can miss that consistently.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive because with Skaven as well.
I don't think he's ever hit anything with a cannon and killed it outright.
Well, if I hit with a warp lightning cannon, it's usually at strength 2 and it does utterly nothing. Or I think the one time I did roll strength 10 against a hit roll of 1 and it didn't really do anything. So yeah, it was it's a bit unfortunate, but there you go. That's the game. I think the big cavalry units were pretty awesome. I mean.
I really like the idea of. I think you need more support units. Like, you kind of need those pistoliers just to extra tricks.
Yeah, definitely. I think probably I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna tit about with the army a bit more.
Yeah. Obviously, a lot of refining to do.
Yeah, I mean that was literally just a sort of midnight bugger about with how many heavy cavalry I could fit in 3,000 points that was going to be reasonable. So yeah, I'm going to go back to the drawing board and think about what happened, think about what didn't happen, and and just sort of work on it. The steam tank actually did do something. It wiped out a unit of skeleton archers.
Yeah, I think it was just unlucky when it blew up.
Core, yeah. Well, I mean, you knocked 1 wound off of it. I rolled a misfire, so otherwise, it had a pretty damn good chance of doing something else. And I think with the steam tank, I was going to try and get it into the other unit of archers. Or I think at that point, I might have tried to have, if he hadn't have charged with the War Sphinx, I would have tried to have got it in on the action against the Tomb Guard.
Yeah, I think if that had got in against the Tomb Guard, it would have been game over there and then.
Yeah,
there's not a lot I can do against that.
No, and then if I'm
just pump steam points into it and just rape Tomb Guard.
Yeah, like the you think you generate 5 steam points, and if you get it off, you can do a lot of damage with the grind attacks, and you can do then
the breath weapons.
Yeah. I mean, you think 2d6 strength 5 hits, so no armor save for them other than the regen, and then you've got like then 2d3 grind attacks as well at strength 6. So you've got the potential at handing out an awful lot of damage
as support. On the flank as well. So.
Yeah.
It doesn't take a lot to crumble a unit of Tomb Guard if you get them in the flank.
That's it. So yeah, it was unfortunate that things didn't go quite my way, but I was really impressed. I'm not entirely sold on Marius as the general. However, he's fun, which I rather like, and he's also an awesome model.
Yeah, Size managed to take the new Empire book and build a Bretonnian army led by an orc.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's quite an enjoyable army to play. It's 95 models, which, while it's still quite a lot, it gives me the opportunity to paint them up to quite a nice standard. That's not the best of ideas, but yeah, this guy here, I will try and get some pictures of him coming up at some point once I've maybe painted 1 or 2 more. But I've been working on him. He's sort of fully blended highlights for everything, and I'll try to paint him as best as possible. So yeah, he's coming on, and what we might try and do is we're going to get some pictures of our other armies, so you can see the Skaven and the Chaos and stuff like that. And maybe if Ollie feels like it, we can dig out the 40k armies as well that we've got and post some pictures of them, because yeah, we've got a lot of nice models kicking around in this place, and yeah, we should probably stick them up. Don't know, there might even be some painting guides if people like the look and want to know what we did. Yeah, there's one thing I would suggest that we talk about though, right at the end of this game, and something that Ollie brought up with how Tomb King's players that we've seen tend to do their magic phases, and I think that Ollie should should discuss this, his own thoughts, because he's had some immensely successful magic phases. As he tweaked his tactics, his magic phases have just broken me every time. Beforehand, when he wasn't getting them, it was a bit 50-50 how his army was going to do, but now with his magic phases going off every time how he likes it.
Yeah, they run really smoothly now.
And what it can do is, I think it's probably something Ollie should have some words about.
That's like a tactical video or something.
Yeah, well, maybe that can be next. But yeah, that was a great game, and yeah, back to the drawing boards, and I'll see what I can come up with for next week.